KSMO Radio, 1340 AM, 95.7 FM. It is Intercounty Tuesday. Heather's made her way back from vacation and back to our studios.
Yeah.
Didn't get lost.
I know. Dang it.
Still found your way.
Yeah.
Which is good. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Very
Beautiful
good.
weather. That's always nice. You can't control that when you plan your vacation out in advance. So you're grateful for the nice weather when you get it.
You betcha. Anyway, well, we hope everything went well on that vacation.
Yeah,
and I
thank
guess
you.
you had to come back to work.
I know. But you had Vanessa last month.
We did.
She said it went well.
Yeah,
so
I did.
That's
It
good.
went very well. Vanessa did a great job. So,
Good, good.
pinch hitting for you.
That's right.
That was a good job.
We're easing her in. Huh?
Yeah, there you go. You gave her a little break in a month before, but
Yeah. Be like, hey, why don't you come with me? And then,
oh, by the way, next month it's yours.
Yeah. In all fairness, I offered to reschedule, and she said, no, I think I got this.
Yeah, she
So,
did a great job.
good.
She really did. So anyway, well, we're here to talk a little bit about our friends from Intercounty Electric, and of course, one of the things that we usually talk about, maybe even in July, is the D.C. trip. But Vanessa didn't have much to say about that. So, how did all that go?
Well, actually, both trips have already happened because
Well,
June.
I know, but I mean,
yeah.
usually the one in July is the D.C. trip.
Right. So in June, our 9 high schoolers went to Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
They had of course, fantastic time, as we would expect that they would. They were a little bummed that they didn't get to see the president because apparently some kids from some other states, they had went to the White House the day before and they'd actually caught a glimpse and got a wave. So our kids were like super pumped the day they got to go and of course, hopeful. But nonetheless, they walked their little feet off and made a ton of memories. And these kids, you try to tell them how big of a deal it is. And they're like, yeah, I know. This is going to be cool. This is going to be fun, whatever. And they get back and they're like, holy cow, I had no idea. And something, we don't really talk about this part of the trip, but the kids all have to wear a name tag. There's a lanyard.
Sure.
Their name's on there, the co-op that sponsored them, and then, of course, Missouri, because they're with Missouri. And all the states do this. The kids have to wear name tags throughout the trip. A lot of times you don't see it because when we take that press release photo
Right.
at the Capitol, we have them take that off just so it looks a little bit more professional, But they have these name tags, and the states all have state pins. They're like little, the little lapel pins.
Sure.
But each state has their own, and they trade pins while they're there. If you try to talk to the kids about this before, they're like, you want me to trade pins? Like what's a lapel pin? They don't even know.
What's a lapel?
Yeah, and you want me to talk to people from other states, like how embarrassing. I'll tell you what, the kids this year, they ate that up.
That's
It
good.
became the biggest challenge for them. We had a couple of boys that went on the trip that were able to get pins from every state that
Wow.
was there. So it became this real sort of competition, and nobody wanted to sit in the back of the bus because if you're on the front of the bus, you get out first and then you meet the kids from the other states fastest.
There you go.
We had one of the young men, he came back, and when he was talking about it, he said he figured out if you talk to the chaperones from the other states, sometimes
There
they
you
hadn't
go.
been hit up like the kids had. So
There you go.
lots of stories coming back from the trip. They had a good time. They had a safe time. Of course, you always worry about unrest anytime in a big city, and we had some parents that were a little nervous. But safe trip, very organized. How many years have we been doing that? It's
long time.
yeah, it's a well-oiled machine, but there can still be things that pop up. So we were grateful everybody got back safe and had a good time.
All
And-
right, very good.
yeah, and then in July, the
Okay,
other
you
kids.
go ahead. I
yeah,
was just going to introduce that, but so then we
Go for
followed
it.
that up with the cycle trip.
yeah, and we sent 9 kids to Jeff City. They went last month, and we could send up to 18. Because 2 from each school. Unfortunately, a lot of times students that win the Jeff City trip, they're a little discouraged because they wanted to make top 3 essays so that they could do the interview, so they could win the DC trip. And it's unfortunate that that they don't feel like that's a prize worth going to. The 9 kids that did go, again, had a fantastic time. It's a great experience, and I think a lot of times these students think, well, I've been to Jeff City before. We don't spend
Not in
all
this way.
4 days just touring the
At the
Capitol
water
grounds.
park and
Yeah, that's not what we do. We one whole day is in St. Louis, and they go to the city museum. Not a museum, a giant playground.
but it is a
essentially.
museum. But
Yes.
it's a museum of fun.
Right. So they go there. They go to the Arch. They end up the day at Dave and Buster's, and it's just a fun day. But we had students that went on the trip that had not been outside of, well, one of them, her hometown and the town next to it.
That's it.
Never
Yeah.
in her life had she ever gone outside of those 2 towns.
I
And
believe
so Jeff City was a huge deal for her. Getting to go to St. Louis, it was just, she said,
That had to be a bit overwhelming when she
I'm
got
sure it
downtown
was.
St.
I'm sure it
Louis,
was.
yeah.
And now as a parent, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would be just so worried about my kid. But some great kids that went, they got to, of course, go to the Capitol. They got to tour the Missouri State Penitentiary, which the kids,
That's neat.
yeah, they enjoy that. Casey Wolf, the Kansas City Chiefs mascot, he comes and speaks to them, and kids that are Chiefs fans, get real excited because it's
It's a mascot.
it's Casey Wolf.
Who's retiring, by the way.
He is, yeah. Well, I think he's just not going to be the lead.
Well, I think
Mascot
he said
anymore.
it's getting harder and harder. So
Yeah, but
he had mentioned in an article that it's getting close to retirement. I'm figuring this might be his last year.
yeah. Well, he is a fantastic speaker. He has an incredible life story, very motivational. Talks to the kids about every day you get up and you have a choice to make. Like, you're going to do good. You're going to be in a good mood. You're going to be positive. You're going to be
Right.
optimistic, or you're just going to be like a woe is
You're gonna
me.
be a grump.
Yeah. Yeah. So he talks to him about no matter your circumstances, you always have a choice, and fantastic speaker. And then we have him, of course, because we're co-ops. We want him to learn about co-ops. So we do some educational stuff there too. And the write-up, I'll tell you, when we take the kids, sometimes it's a little quiet. They don't necessarily know a lot of other people unless the student
Sure.
from their school
Right.
also went. They don't have a lot of things in common yet to talk about. The trip back is the opposite. They're all best friends. They have these shared experiences. They want to tell you all the stories about the things that they did and saw, and
Which is a typical kid.
it's a typical kid, yeah. But a great trip. And we remind these students, the DC trip and the Jeff City, they're seniors this year. I mean, they're going into their senior year. They're applying for colleges. They're applying for scholarships. If they're going directly into the workforce, they're filling out job applications and doing interviews. To be able to put one of these trips down, either one, is huge. I mean, the whole point is to stand out amongst your peers that are also
Exactly.
applying for the same things. And if you can put down that you attended a leadership conference with Missouri Electric Cooperatives,
Right.
or you went to DC as part of their youth tour essay contests, like, that kind of gets people to stop. Like, whoa, wow, look.
What makes you stand out from somebody else?
Yeah. And so I'll continue to preach it. But if you have a student, or if you are a student and you win that Jeff City trip, don't be so discouraged that you just don't go at all, because it's a fantastic opportunity, an opportunity that probably other students at your school would love to have had.
Absolutely.
And you've taken that away from somebody if you skip out on it. So
Yeah, you can be discouraged you didn't win the big prize, but you're still going to win a pretty doggone good second prize.
right. And that's to be expected. Like,
Yeah.
there's a first place prize and there's
Sure.
2 runners up, that get to go on a different trip. Yeah, that's why you're studying for the interview. You want to win the DC trip. But the Jeff City trip is still,
It's a very,
you earned
very
it.
good- You're right. It's
you
a
earned
very
it.
good
It
trip.
wasn't just here,
Yeah.
because you didn't score highest in the interview.
right.
Your essay earned you that trip.
Right.
So
And we're not talking everything educational. We're still talking about kids learning about real world things.
yeah,
And 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 Heather, I think that's something that we sometimes get away from, trying to protect our kids so much. We hide them from everything. Well, real world is, oh, there's not many places to hide. You're
Yeah.
going to have to stand out there somewhere, somehow, sometime,
Yeah.
and you're going to have to blow your own horn. You're
Yeah.
just going to have to do it. This is an opportunity for these youngsters
It
to do
is.
exactly that.
Yeah. And they make friends that they stay in touch with. Social media makes it so easy for them to stay in touch with each other.
Or
And,
hard to get away from
or
somebody.
hard to get away from. But, they're making those connections with leaders at co-ops, too, because the chaperones there, they're co-op employees from across the state. And we don't know what these kids want to do when they grow up. Some of them don't know yet what they
No.
want to do. But there may come a time where they need a reference, or maybe they're applying for a job at an electric co-op, or they need pointed in the right direction. And those people can be a really good resource
Sure.
for them.
And sometimes they may run across people who've been in the exact same program they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somewhere down the road and say, yeah, I took that trip. That was great. Do you remember doing blah, 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 la, la, la?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
Connections,
all of a sudden, you've got
very
a
important.
connection. A very good
Yep.
connection. Yes, ma'am. So the cycle trip, another big success. All the really the things that Intercounty does to help people expand beyond their horizon. Let's look forward to the future. Let's see what these kids can do. I always love to see the kids come back from D.C. because they have a whole different attitude about everything.
Well, just that sense of patriotism, I think,
Yeah.
is what we see a lot of times. Like, they've learned about these events in history class. But there's a difference between having a worksheet over something and then going and walking through Arlington National
Touching,
Cemetery.
feeling,
Yeah.
smelling.
Yeah. When you're standing at the Vietnam Wall Memorial, that's a totally different feeling than reading over it in a chapter in your
Right,
book.
or seeing it on TV.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I mean. That's what I talk about. These things going above and beyond
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people don't experience these things in everyday life. They just have no clue.
Yeah.
And then they get an opportunity to go to D.C. or even the cycle program, something they've never seen. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
they've just never been to anything like that in their life. You talked about some people never left their hometown or even maybe the small town next to them. But even then, if you did that maybe 5 or 6 years ago, the world's changed.
Yeah.
5 or 6 years later, it's not the same world it was back
Right.
in 2000 or 2020
Yeah.
or 2010.
Yeah.
Everything has changed. And it's so interesting to hear how these kids come out, but they've gained some confidence. They take away that I can't do it attitude.
Right.
I think when they go at first when they compete at Intercounty, they take away that attitude. Then they're competing to go to either Jeff City or you're going to go to Washington D.C. So you're competing. Well, now you have clinched a place in those. Now you can relax a little bit and start to absorb what all these things can give you. And you'll be amazed how much you'll learn if you open your mind and let it in.
Yeah.
But if you sit there and you're just negative bump on the wall, you're really, I won't say you're hurting yourself, because you could absorb so much, learn so much from the people with you, learn so much from the chaperones that are there, and learn from the actual locations you are in. Read those things that are on the wall. Talk to people about it. Ask questions. They love questions.
Yep. And we do, one of the things there at Jeff City, we have Central Electric. They come and they do sort of like their safety truck, but they do a demonstration of, it's a live line procedure, how electricity works. But it's that, get to see it. They bring the electric vehicles. A lot of these younger kids are interested in that. And the different co-ops that have one, they bring them, they park them, they open the doors, the trunk, the hood, and they stand there and let the kids climb in and look around and answer the questions they have. And
Right.
it's just that, like you said, that hands-on, touch it, feel it, learn it that way. That experience, you can't replace it.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You really can't. And so anyway, February, there'll be a new group.
Yeah, so we'll start going to the schools in January, right after Christmas break. Actually, Vanessa and I will be in the schools and talking to the juniors that are going to be starting school in the next, you guys start next week here in Salem?
I believe we do.
Yeah. So I think most schools within a
Florida
week or
school
two.
started yesterday.
I've seen several back to
And
school.
I'm thinking, no, they've never started that early. I can never remember them starting that early, but yeah, we were down there and they were all going back Monday, 11th of August. Wow. I guess they have hurricane days down there. We have snow days.
Well, that's true. They gotta start
They
earlier.
need that.
Yeah.
But, and, you know, but again, come January, you guys will make your spiel to the kids. And hopefully, if anybody's out there listening, if you have a child, a grandchild, a niece, a nephew, whoever is going to be a junior this year, come January, have them listen in because it will be not a very difficult question. As a matter of fact, more going to be something like an attitude or your opinion of something. But whatever it is, just 250 to 500 words,
Not a whole lot of effort.
not a lot of work.
Yeah.
But give it your best shot.
Yeah.
It might just win you a trip to D.C.
Right. We had a teacher last year. We were talking, and she said, "Can I interrupt you for a minute?" She said, "This class is very much interested in return on investment. What will I potentially get back if I put forth the effort?" And so she took 250 words, and she asked what the value of the DC trip, and she told the kids, like, let's say it takes you 30 minutes. 30 minutes, write it, proof it, submit it. She said that's probably longer than it will actually take
Right,
some of you.
right.
And she gave them a dollar amount, and she's like, if you win, this is how much your time was worth. And you see the kids are like, oh, okay.
Well, true. Dollar value, a week stay in D.C., air flight out, air flight back.
For 30 minutes of your time.
What, $5,000-6,000 could be as much as.
Yeah. Yeah. And it grows every year. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the prices of everything just continue to go up. But we are very fortunate that we have a board that has said we want to invest in these kids. We want each school to have an opportunity to be represented. That's unique in the state because we are the only co-op that keeps the competition at a school level instead of, all in one pot. You might have schools that are not represented for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And we're really fortunate that our board has said, nope, one from each school. We'll pay to go to them, let them go to D.C., and 2, we'll send them to Jeff City if they're interested.
Well, I think that's great.
Me too.
I really do.
Me too.
And thank you to Intercounty's board for continuing that tradition. And it is something that I hope these kids don't just assume is going to stay going on forever. It could change in a year. Maybe they won't be taking those trips anymore. But if you have the opportunity and they're going to offer it to you, I would definitely fill out the 250 to 500 word essay.
Yeah.
Do the best job you can. Submit it. Take your chances. You can only be a winner. You really can't lose. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So, hey, you got everything to gain. I liked it. Those are good odds.
Good odds.
A
Yeah.
lot better. I mean, 400, even if it's 400 students to 1 that you're going to go on that DC trip, and I know there's no junior class around our area. Maybe Rolla might have 400, but 400 to 1, let's just say 125 to 1. That might be more of a...
Right. And not every kid writes the essay.
Right. So then,
And that's what we try to tell them. Like, sometimes it's overwhelming, even when you go talk to, say, the students in Summersville, and they've got 20 kids in their graduating class, and you see some of them like, I'm not one of the top 3 writers in my class. You don't have to be, because not everybody's going to write it. It's not
Yeah.
out of 20. You might have half a dozen
might have 5.
that write the essay.
Yeah.
So we encourage them to try.
Yeah.
And it's their original work, the essay is, and it's they're starting into, after this year, they'll be seniors. Hang on to that, and maybe it's something they can use on a scholarship
road,
application or something.
Anyway, it's such a great program. We hope that those youngsters, juniors this upcoming year, will take advantage of that. Right after Christmas, I'm sure in our next interview in January, you will hear
Oh, yeah. We'll talk a lot about it.
about and then
Yeah.
last year, of course, we had all that bad weather.
We had some reschedules, yeah.
Yeah, really. You guys couldn't even present at Salem that first time, I don't believe. I think you were coming to do it on a day, and We had a
And
little
no
bit of
school,
ice,
and yeah.
and
I
that,
think we rescheduled some schools twice even
Yeah.
just because of the weather.
yeah, we had some crazy weather
Mm-hmm.
last January. All right, well, very good. Well, thank you for that update. We always
Absolutely.
appreciate that. All right, we do know that Intercounty, though, has been very busy with our senior centers and making some donations, and we really do appreciate that.
Yeah, that so our Sharing Success program, we partner with CoBank, one of our lenders, and Show Me Power, our power provider, and they have, I can't say every year because just like you said, Youth Tour, it might not be here next year, but in the past, there's been money available each year, matching grant funds,
Right.
and the co-op takes advantage of those. And there's some stipulations on what type of organizations we can donate to. But our board, they take a look at organizations in our area, and they try to find an organization type that is represented across our service territory. So
Sure.
they don't want to make that donation to just one or two parts. Senior centers, the board was pretty unanimous. I mean, they do good in our communities. They're across our service territory, and they were facing some pretty significant funding cuts themselves. So,
Or just raises and everything with the price of everything
Yeah.
going up. They had no way.
yeah. And we
and they
heard,
can't raise their prices.
right, we heard that too when we were going and making those check donations. Not only have they had funding cuts, but the price of groceries has gone up so much that the funding cuts, yeah, those were bad, but
Yeah.
even if they would have had that money, they still would have been short because the cost of everything had gone up. So, I'm really grateful that Intercounty takes advantage of those grant funds and that our board, they do their due diligence when they look at organizations that can help in our service area.
Right, and it's, as you said, across the entire service areas. That's a lot of senior centers. What is it, 11? I think it's 11 or 12.
I don't remember.
Quite a few.
I'm trying to think.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know there was a whole bunch.
Looky here, I've got pictures.
You've got pictures.
I do.
9?
Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
Yeah,
Okay.
still.
Okay.
That's still a lot.
Still a lot of senior centers, and they serve their communities and of course
Right.
and their counties as well. So it's not just a community; they'll serve the county and that they serve. you know.
Right.
So, like Texas County has Licking and Houston, and I think even
Kabul, yep.
has a senior center that
Yep.
also is very active. So
Right.
yeah, so a lot of people get a chance to benefit from that donation, and we
Yep.
thank them, our friends in Intercounty,
Yeah.
the board for doing that and trying to assist to help those senior centers keep going because it's tough with that increase in food prices. It's tough, and a lot of budgets are being cut too. So
Yeah.
their funding is being cut totally
Right.
all across the board.
Right. You gotta get creative sometimes, and I think the people, the directors, and the volunteers of these senior centers, they really got their work cut out for them. But they've got a passion for it. They've got a passion for serving this group of people, and they want to make it work. So they figure it out. So kudos to them for your hard work, your dedication to that, and your creative thinking, because we've heard some stories about things that they've had to do and reinvent menus and look at things that they offer and fundraisers that they're doing in their own communities. So a lot of work on their part too.
A lot of work, a lot of work. So again, thank you to Intercounty. Thank you to Show Me. Thank you to the bank.
CoBank. Mm-hmm.
We always appreciate those contributions coming to our communities, putting
Yeah.
back into the community.
Absolutely.
What Intercounty does all the time.
Yeah.
They really do. Help out, of course. Fairs and festivals. I'm sure you have seen a few of those since you've come back from vacay.
Yeah. So been some good livestock auctions. Of course, the fairs, community fairs. We've got state fair. Several of the employees are going up to this week, actually, kind of in and out. It's a hot time of year.
Very hot.
It's a hot time of year, but if you see any of us out and about at any of these fairs or auctions, and you have questions about the co-op or ideas or concerns, who you see may not be the right person to take that, but any of us can take down your information and get you in contact with the right person. So don't hesitate if you see us out and about at different events
Sure.
to stop us and
That's why you're there.
yeah, absolutely.
But again, it has been a very, very hot summer.
It has, yeah.
Very hot summer. So again, if you have missed your friends in Intercounty at some of the fairs or festivals, and that can happen. Sometimes you are out of town and people take vacations, and sometimes miss those opportunities to visit. You can always call Intercounty if you have a question or two, and just get the answer you need. Don't think you can't say, "Well, I didn't get a chance to talk to them in person." They're not going to take my call. Sure, they will. Absolutely. Yeah. And they'll be more than happy to,
That's right.
to get that answer for you. That number is very easy to remember.
It is. So our toll-free number is 866-621-3679, and that takes you to our central office, but we can get you to whoever it might be that you need.
Sure. And if you're at Smart Hub, you might even send a little email.
Yeah.
You can send it by email if you have a question.
Yep.
They're not against getting those emails with questions, and they'll answer and send it back.
Yep. Or stop by one of our offices. We've got one in Rolla, one in Licking and Mountain Grove, and you can always pop in any of them.
Sure.
Or if you don't have a whole lot of time, Rolla and Mountain Grove have drive-throughs, so you could swing through the drive-through and
Get the
take
question
care of
answered that you have.
Yep.
Very good. All right. Very good. Now, we unfortunately are having utility scams again.
Stan, they're so bad.
I didn't even want to bring it up, but I figured I better because it has gotten out of hand.
It has. And these scammers are getting really, they're adapting, they're evolving. When we first started talking about phone scams years ago, our members, for the most part, could really quickly identify that it was a scam. Sometimes the person was very hard to understand. They didn't understand how co-ops operated. They were very rude, threatening. They're pushy on the phone, demanding payment, threatening, we have someone down your road. They're going to turn you off right now if you don't make a payment right now. Our members were like, whoa, this doesn't sound like Intercounty. That is not, I'm not going to say they won't still try that, but for the most part, that is not how they are operating. Just this last month in July, we had a lady call in, and she said, I was pretty sure it was a scam, so I hung up, but I wanted to call back to make sure. And we checked into, has there been any system hacked? We think maybe her email, somebody had hacked into her email. But she had got an email notification telling her that her bill was ready to view. You can sign up for notifications.
Sure.
I have
do that on
the
Smart
same.
Hub,
Yeah, I have the same notification. I get a text instead of an email when my bill's ready to view. But she had received her email that her bill was ready to view, and the next day is when she got a spam call. And the caller said, I'm so-and-so with Intercounty Electric, and you should have got your email yesterday telling you that your bill was ready. Okay, so in her mind, she's like, I'm following you. And then they said, we're working with, or actually they had said they were working with some company contracted by Intercounty Electric. We were a partner, and they were an assistance organization partnered with Intercounty, and you should have got your bill, or your email that your bill was ready. And they had some money available, and they were trying to find out, are you able to pay your full bill this month, or do you need any help? And if you need help, how much of your bill would you be able to pay? And we can see if we can pick up the difference.
Pick up the rest, yeah.
They claim to be with an organization kind of like, what do you have here in Salem? It's not Ozark Action. You guys have got...
well, we have Solve, and we...
there's
yeah, we got a couple foundations.
Yeah, there's a couple foundations around, and
there's a name for what they have, but I can't think of it.
Yeah, but they were claiming to be with an organization like that, and talked to this lady, and she said, I stayed on the phone with them for a while, and she said they asked me would I be able to pay 20% of my bill, and they'd be able to pay the rest. And towards the end of the phone call, very, very professional, very calm, very kind. Okay, if you can make this payment, this amount, we're going to pay this much, and you'll get a receipt from Intercounty emailed to the same email address that you got your notification yesterday. And she said something just felt off. So she hung up and she called us back. And I'm so grateful that she did. Our primary concern then was who didn't hang up, who else got that call
And it thinks they're going to get assistance,
and think they're going to get
and
assistance.
they're going to actually get ripped off.
But you've got to just protect that financial information. It's so important to not give your credit or debit card.
So are they just going to put that money into their bank account so they could pay that? So you'd have to give them their bank account number?
Well, if you're going to pay 20% of your bill, we'll
right.
go ahead and collect that payment from you. That way, we'll put ours with yours, and Intercounty will get the whole payment all at once. Your bill will be paid
you're
in
paying
full,
them, yeah.
and Intercounty will send you a receipt. So you're going to pay them $25 or whatever it comes out to be. They're not going to just take that small amount that
No.
they tell you. They're going to take as much as they can. And man, it makes me angry because you're scamming people out of money, and times are tough and money's tight. And,
Yeah.
we were just talking about the cost of everything going up, and especially members who are relieved. Yeah, absolutely. I could really use some help on my bill. And then they're further behind because then they just got scammed out of the money they did have in their account.
And then they can't pay their account.
Yeah. So please, if anybody calls, whether they're claiming to be working with Intercounty or any other business, if they're asking for financial information over the phone, maybe it's legitimate. Intercounty, we do not take payments over the phone in person. It's an automated system. Other businesses might. So I can't speak for them, but I can tell you, if you are leery, they're dealing with the same thing. They've been the target of scams too. Hang up, let them know you'll be calling them back. Call them back directly at a number that you know is theirs, not a number that they give you.
Right.
Because if they're a scammer, they're not going to give you the company's real phone
Pretty
number.
sure not.
Call them back and just say, hey, I just wanted to make sure this was legitimate. If you've got a way to check your balance or whatever they might be saying that needs to be paid.
Or call
Look
Intercounty
that
and
up.
say, have you partnered with anybody?
Yeah, like this lady, she's like, I just want to make sure. And if you are, then how do I get back in touch with these people?
Yeah.
But you gotta be on guard because the red flags are fewer and fewer.
Yeah, they're getting very good. They are very, very, very good. And
Yeah.
they'll lend to make you think that they're really trying to help you. And they're trying to take everything you got.
Yeah.
So
And they're learning the co-op. Several months ago, the scam call, the callers knew about co-ops. They understood co-ops well. Hey, I'm with Intercounty. As you know, we're a co-op, not for profit. When we share our capital credits with you, if we make more than what we needed, we were able to buy some discounted kilowatt hours. So we're doing the co-op thing, and we're going to offer them to you at a discounted price.
during these super hot days.
Yeah. Would you be interested in buying a block of discounted kilowatt hours? Man, it's not just the pay your bill right now or we're turning you off. No, I said right now. That's not how it is anymore.
That's not how it works on the open market.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there weren't many places that would be offering any discount electric blocks,
Yeah.
especially during this hot summer. There's not been a lot of places that aren't being taxed already,
Yeah.
electric systems. Because
And if there is a business that has a deal, you're going to get the deal even if you hang up and call them back.
Sure.
You are. So be leery.
And it's a shame we have to be that way.
Yeah, it is.
We have to be on guard all the time. That's just the way of the world anymore. And, a lot of times you used to have people come up to your door and knock on your door. Most people won't answer their door anymore because they have a ring and they can see it as somebody they don't know.
Yeah.
And so they won't answer the door. which is not a bad thing. Some people say, "Oh, I'm here. We got this asphalt truck here. We can put this asphalt down, and all you got to do is give us half down, and we can get that down for you later today." And then you write them a check for $500, $600, $800, whatever it is. You never see them again.
Yeah. Yeah. People, and if they went and got a real job, they'd probably do well.
Do okay.
Yeah, get a job in sales. I'm sure they do fine.
There's no challenge to the real job. And that's
Yeah.
what some of these people live off, the challenge.
Yeah.
How they're trying to make it each and every single day.
Yeah.
It's really,
Yeah.
that's what excites them. That's what gets them motivated to see if they can beat somebody.
Yeah.
They don't realize the harm they're doing to that person, maybe even that person's family.
Right.
But they don't care.
They don't care. Yeah.
All they want is the money.
Yeah.
So be very leery. And again, if you have a call that gives you some almost too good to believe it's true kind of offer, it's probably too good to believe it's true because it's not true.
Yeah. Yep. That's good advice.
Yeah. Oh, discount blocks of electric. Wow, that's great. And
Yeah.
how much can I buy? Well, you can buy as much as you want,
Yeah.
Thousands.
The amount doesn't matter to them. They just
No,
want the
They
information.
just want some money. Once they get into your account, if you give them your account numbers or credit card number and your security code,
Yeah.
you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Especially credit cards, they'll max it out in no time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just not a good thing. So, again, be very, very wary of anybody giving you just too good an offer that you can't pass that up.
Yeah.
Heather, it's too good.
I know, right? You don't want to miss out on the deal.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, it comes along once in a lifetime.
Well, I don't know. We may get a call next week
Yeah,
where
you
they
may
get.
follow right up with another call,
Yeah.
too. If you're gullible one time, don't think you're going to be gullible again. You'll get more calls.
Oh, yeah. Probably. Oh, man. It makes me feel bad for these people because we have had members that have called after falling for a scam.
Yeah.
We had a young couple in their early 40s a year, I think it was last winter. They got a call. They had a small business and got a call on a Friday afternoon. Business is busy. They knew they were going to be busy all weekend. Hey, you didn't sign your check. And the office closed early today because whatever Monday of there was going to be a Monday holiday. Office closed early. The lobby did. We're still on the phones. You can make a payment over the phone. What should have been a huge red flag, they asked them to go and buy a red dot or a green dot gift card and pay with the gift card. But they were so panicked that the power was going to be turned off.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurs, small
Didn't think.
business, didn't think, went and got it, called them back, gave them the gift card number, $900, Stan. $900. No way to get it back.
No, it's gone.
It's just gone.
Well, at least it was just a gift card. It could have been a lot worse.
That's true. It
Could have been their bank routing number and their banking account number.
Yeah. But the point is, it's not, they're not just targeting the elderly. We talk about sometimes, like make sure you're telling your loved ones not to give out their bank account information. Anybody can be manipulated to believe what people are saying. And these scammers are doing research and they know what they're
their
doing.
stuff,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yeah.
They really do. So again, just be cautious out there. Be cautious. If you have any questions, if somebody calls you about anything with Intercounty or a service that Intercounty is supposedly providing, or even if it's tree trimming services, and they're saying, we're going to be in your yard, and while we're here, we saw something wrong with your electric or some crazy thing like that, and we can fix it while we're here because we're here representing Intercounty. Call Intercounty.
Call us. Yeah.
Find out if that is actually true.
Yeah. I'm glad you did bring up calls that were doing something with the right of way because that is one of the things I wanted to talk about today. And today at 10 o'clock, there are going to be some calls go out. They're automated calls. We're going to be doing some right of way spraying starting next week. And Salem is one of those areas. South Rolla, Salem Our website, we've got a map on there of Intercounty service area, and they've kind of shaded the areas where we're going to be doing some right-of-way work. We have contracted that out. It's with Apex Right-of-Way, and we're going to give you all that information in that phone call if you're in that area. If you don't get a phone call, one of two things. Either you're not on a feeder that's going to get sprayed,
Right.
or we don't have a good phone number for you. And we are finding that we have lots and lots of bad phone numbers.
We probably have old landlines that have been disconnected.
Or it seems like, and I think they're the prepaid cell
Oh,
phones.
it could be, yeah.
If their
They're like a
minutes
burner phone.
expire, then they just go buy new, and then they got a different phone number. So if you haven't checked to make sure that Intercounty has your current contact information, please do that. You can call our office. We can make sure it's up to date. If you have Smart Hub, it's really easy because you can just go into your settings and update your contact
Sure.
information. But it's really important to make sure your phone number and your email address, if you want to get email notifications, that those are up to date, because when we do things like this spraying, we want to tell you, but we need to know how to
You need to know how to tell you.
tell you.
You're telling
Yeah.
them right now over the air. So, anyway, so if you have that, if you are an Intercounty customer, member, excuse me, shouldn't
Yep.
say customer. If you are an Intercounty member, check your Smart Hub if you have Smart Hub. If you don't have Smart Hub, you possibly will get one of these automated calls that'll come to you. Listen to it, and then know when they're going to be spraying, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And they will give you all that information. If you still have questions, call Intercounty.
Yeah.
And then they can verify that.
Yeah. And actually, we're going to give you the number to Apex on that message, because they, if you call us, we're going to give you the phone number to them, because they maintain the no spray list.
Nice.
There are members that prefer not to have their vegetation
Yeah.
sprayed. I do want to point out, we don't spray in maintained yard areas. So if your right of way is clear, they're not spraying.
Yeah.
If you've maintained it, they're just going to go right on past you.
Right.
So they're not going to do that. They are approved by the EPA, the chemicals that they're using. There's no grazing restrictions, so you don't have to worry about if you've got animals that it might be detrimental to them, because it is approved by EPA
Right.
and don't have any
But if
restrictions
you keep
like that.
your right of way all clean and nice and cut,
They're going to move on past you.
yeah,
We
then they-
prefer that.
Yeah. Well, it's still your property.
Yeah.
Truly is. You're supposed to do it, but people think, well, it's not my property. It's an easement. The easement just means they have the right to come on your property to service the lines.
Yeah.
That's all it means. And also the Intercounty has, if they need to put any other services there, they have that right to do that too. But that's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they're going to come and cut your grass.
Yeah. So just because you get the call doesn't mean they're necessarily going to spray on your property.
Right.
It just means that you live in an area where they're going to be, and if it needs to be sprayed, then that is their intention. That's what they'll be doing.
Unless you get on their no spray list.
Unless you get on the no spray list. And Apex, the contractor that's doing that, they maintain that list. It's easier for them to keep track of that directly, as opposed to Intercounty kind of being the middleman and then possibly
Yeah.
missing something. So we're going to give you all that information. Like Stan said, you
Right.
can always call if you need to call. But for the most part, people like the right-of-way cleared out too.
Sure.
There's typically not many problems with that.
A lot
But
of vegetation grows up along those poles.
yeah, it does.
Gets pretty high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Needs to be controlled. Needs to be controlled. No doubt about that. Very good. What else you want to talk about today?
We've got a few movie nights left.
Okay.
We've got in September, we've got one in Raymondville and one in Licking. So hop on our website and look at that list, the schedule of movie nights. We've had decent turnout this summer. I think people are just busy
Busy, but it's been hot.
in general. Yeah, it has been warm. So still, we enjoy doing those,
Yeah, oh,
coming
they're
out to
fun.
the communities. A lot of fun. Yeah.
They're
So
fun.
check our list for that.
September probably better weather.
Yeah, and in the evenings too. Especially one of them is September 20th, so it might be a little
Yeah. Might be
cool. You may want to.
Probably not yet. That's like the last day of summer.
Yeah, but we don't start the movie till dark, so
Still the last day of the last
Yeah.
evening of summer.
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, 21st is
Yeah.
usually the day. I don't know when the last true full day of summer
Yeah.
is, but it's usually still pretty warm in September. But should not be 98 with a humidity of
gosh.
65%. And you're out
Right.
there just melting.
Yeah. So that's on our website. While you're on our website, also please take a minute to look at that unclaimed capital credit list. I know we talk about this several times throughout the year, but those are the names of people who had a check ready 2 years ago, and the 2 years is coming up. It's coming to an end. So if your name is on that list, or if you have a family member or a friend, or you know someone on there, let them know they need to call Intercounty as soon as possible, because we keep those for 2 years, but then they expire.
Right.
So reach out, let us know. Probably, if your name's on that list, the checks we printed last year, you may have one in that
Waiting
batch
there
too.
too, yes.
And then we would publish that name next year,
Yeah.
since they would be the 2-year-old checks. But check that list. They're alphabetical by last name. Stan, I think there was like 16 pages this time.
It was a lot. I didn't count them. It's
It's
still
a
pretty
lot.
small print.
Yeah, I think it was 16 pages. So call us if your name's on there. If it's a family member who has passed and you would like to claim those capital credits, that is something that the co-op does. They
Sure.
don't just, they're not just lost to the
Right.
family. There's a one-page affidavit that has to be filled out, but very easy to do. And then we can set up, does it need to be split between you and your
Right.
sibling, or how does that need to happen? But you do it once, and then all future checks are handled the same way.
And if you want to donate it, you can to
You can.
Operation Roundup.
Yeah, we do. We have some
you can do
members,
that.
some previous members that have done that. Some businesses, it's been a good options for businesses that have gone out and they're no longer
Viable.
viable. Like
Yeah.
the check has to be written to the business, and
Yeah.
if the business is
Non-existing.
non-existing, they're able to donate that to Operation Roundup, and solves a lot of problems
There you
and
go.
helps a good program.
There you go. It does. It really
Yeah.
does. Speaking of that, Roundup is today.
It is today.
It is today.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if you ever need Roundup, and we hope you never do,
Yeah.
that would be ideal. But if you do, if times get tough, if bad things come in threes, they say, and if it's the third one strike you already got and you've just fallen a little bit short, get in touch with Intercounty and find out about Operation Roundup. It can be a nice Band-Aid to a problem you have now. It's not going to be there every month. It's just going to be a one-time. It gets you out of trouble help. And can't say enough about the program. I know it's benefited a lot of people who found themselves in a precarious position
Yeah.
for one reason or another.
Yeah. And it's one of those programs that is fully funded by other members that want to do good. I think when we talk about Roundup, we don't brag on our members enough. There would be no program if they didn't contribute, because that's where the money comes from.
Yep.
They're rounding up their bill to the next nearest dollar. That spare change, a couple of quarters, you or I could not do a whole lot of good with. When it
Even
comes
less
to
now.
yeah, when it comes to helping someone. But when you put it together with everybody else that is contributing,
Right.
there's a significant amount of money there. And then when those things happen, like the transmission went out on your
Right.
vehicle, or the primary wage earner extended illness, there's a lot of things that can happen. We had a lady at work who, within 2 weeks, her heating cooling system had to be replaced, her kitchen range went out, and her dryer went out.
That's bad
And-
things in threes. I'm telling
And
you.
well, and now her truck's giving her trouble.
Oh.
So she's like, am I done at 4, or did I have 2 sets of 3? But
Hopefully not.
there are times where sometimes something just happens, and you need a little bit of help.
do.
And anybody can be there. There's no shame in asking for help. Your information's kept confidential. We have one coordinator who sees that paperwork at the office, and she's the only one that does. There are 7 volunteer delegates. They're the ones that review the application. They make sure it's a legitimate need. We were talking about scams earlier. We don't want to think any of our members would do such a thing, but they want to be good stewards of that money and make sure that it's being spent wisely. So those 7 delegates see your application and the 1 coordinator, and that's it.
That's it.
That we do report in the rural Missouri each month how many applications or how many applicants were assisted and the money that was spent. But we're not giving a rundown of, we gave Stan this much money for this need. Nobody's going to, that's not going to be broadcasted.
Nobody knows what happens.
Yeah.
And it's all done. Now remember, if you need the money, you need to get your application by the end of the month.
Right.
So it's reviewed for the next month. So the applications they're looking at today all came in by July 31st.
That's right. Yep.
So just keep that in mind.
Yes. So if you turn yours in anytime throughout August, it'll be reviewed at the September meeting. It's always the second Tuesday of the month.
There
Yep.
you go. Makes it easy.
Yeah.
All right. I'm done. Do you got anything else?
I got one more thing,
Okay.
and it's short. We talk about getting ready to go back to school. If you are a teacher and you want to schedule time for Intercounty to come and present in your classroom, please give us a call. That's something we do for free. We can do our Powertown table. In the past, we've had some teachers ask, could you talk to the kids about energy efficiency? Could you talk to our kids about circuits? There's been some specific requests, but the safety table usually is a big hit, and then we get to give our message about staying safe around electricity. So give us a call. It's a service that Intercounty offers for free. We would love to come and speak to your classroom.
Not just schools either. It could be your
No,
group
that's right.
or
Yeah.
organization too.
Yeah, and we've done that before. There used to be a lot of church groups that would have us come. A lot of those, especially with adults, they requested energy efficiency information. They wanted to know, how can I go back home? What changes can I make to save on my usage, to lower my electric bill? So if you have a group, whether, like you said, whether it's a classroom or whatever it might be, call us, let us put something together for you, kind of give us an idea of how many people we can expect to be there, and we'll get you on schedule.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that number to call is?
Toll-free number is 866-621-3679.
Very good. Very good. Now, also, don't forget, if you need to make a payment, don't forget, you don't call that number anymore. You have to call a special number, and that number is? Heather?
That pay-by-phone number is 855-940-3890.
Okay, very good. And, of course, don't forget, you go to the website at Intercounty Electric, and the website is?
It's IECA.coop.
There you go. Can't miss
C-O-O-P.
it. So
No,
easy.
It is.
IECA.coop.
That's us.
Easy, easy, easy. Again, thank you for coming in, spending some time with us. We always appreciate you coming back from vacation and spend some
Yeah.
time with
Well,
us.
thank you.
Making a trip over. And again, we hope if you have any questions, get in touch with Intercounty. And these scams going on, people don't just assume they're going to go away, because they're not.
No.
They're going to continue to come up. And
Yeah.
they'll come up in, it seems like, bunches. It all happens at one time, then it goes away for months, and then
Right.
all of a sudden it comes back.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
just kind of keep that in mind. You may not hear from them for 5 or 6 or 8, 10 months. But if you do hear from them, be cautious.
That's right.
Don't give out any personal information.
That's right.
No banking information, no credit card information. None of that. Intercounty will not ask for that.
No.
They won't.
We won't.
They won't. Okay? Very good. Heather, as always, we do appreciate you coming in and spending time with us.
Yeah, thank
right
you.
here on KSMO Radio.